Have you ever felt nervous about speaking English in front of a group of people? Do your words seem to vanish the moment someone asks you to speak? Well, meet Darcy, a shy girl who transformed her fear into confidence and learned to speak English fluently with the public. Her story will inspire you to do the same, step by step. Hello, my name is Darcy. Today, I want to share an exciting story with you. It's about how I learned to speak English confidently in front of other people. At first, I was scared and things didn't always go the way I wanted. But I kept trying, and slowly I got better. I learned something very important during this journey. You don't need to be perfect to speak English. It's okay to make mistakes. What matters most is being brave and taking the first step. When you start, you'll see that each small step makes you stronger and more confident. Let me take you through my story so you can see how I did it and how you can do it too. When I was 14 years old, I lived in a small town. In our town, not many people spoke English. Most of us spoke our local language, and only a few students practiced speaking English. I was very good at reading and writing in English. I could write nice stories and read big books without any trouble. But when it came to speaking English, things were different. Every time I tried to speak, my mind would go completely blank. I couldn't think of the right words, and I would freeze. It made me feel nervous, and I started avoiding situations where I had to speak in English. I didn't want people to hear me make mistakes. I was scared they might laugh at me. One day, my teacher walked into class with exciting news. She said, "Our school is hosting a Speak Up event. Each student will get a chance to give a speech in English in front of the whole community." The moment I heard this, I felt my stomach twist. The thought of standing in front of so many people made me want to hide under my desk. I couldn't imagine myself speaking English in front of an audience. That afternoon, my best friend Lily came up to me with a big smile. She said, "Darcy, this is your chance to shine. You've been reading and writing so well. Now it's time to speak." I shook my head nervously and said, "But what if I mess up? What if I forget my words? What if people laugh at me?" Lily gave me a kind smile and said, "Darcy, everyone makes mistakes. It's okay to mess up. What matters is that you try. If you don't try, you'll never know how good you can be." Lily's words made me think. Maybe I could give it a try. Maybe I didn't have to be perfect. I just had to start. I decided to give it a try. My topic for the speech was the importance of learning English. I wanted to do my best, so I spent many hours writing my speech. At first, I tried to use big, fancy words because I thought it would make me sound smarter. But when my older brother, Ethan, read my draft, he said, "Darcy, don't use such hard words. Keep it simple. Speak like you're talking to your friends." I realized he was right. If I used simple words and short sentences, I wouldn't get confused while speaking, and people would understand me better. So, I rewrote my entire speech using words I already knew. I practiced reading it aloud every evening in front of Ethan and my best friend Lily. They were my biggest supporters. Ethan helped me pronounce difficult words correctly, like important and opportunity. Lily gave me tips on how to stand straight and use hand gestures to make my speech more exciting. For example, she said, "When you talk about opening doors of opportunity, move your hands as if you're opening a door." Their help made me feel more confident. To get used to speaking in front of people, I came up with a funny idea. I went to the park near my house and practiced reading my speech aloud. I pretended that the trees and flowers were my audience. Sometimes I even imagined the birds clapping for me with their wings. People passing by probably thought, why is this girl talking to trees? But I didn't care. Practicing in the open made me feel braver and less scared of speaking in public. It was like a small rehearsal before the big day. When the big day finally came, I felt nervous and excited at the same time. My hands were cold, and my heart was beating so fast it felt like it might jump out of my chest. As I walked up to the microphone, I could see so many people in the audience. It made me even more scared. I remembered what Lily had told me. It's okay to make mistakes. I took a deep breath and tried to calm down. I started by saying, "Good morning, everyone." My voice was a little shaky, and I was afraid people might notice. But instead of stopping, I kept going. I talked about how learning English helped me do many new things and how it opened up so many opportunities for me. At first, I was too nervous to look at the audience, but then I saw some people smiling and nodding as I spoke. That made me feel much better. It felt like they were cheering me on, even without saying a word. Slowly, my voice became stronger, and I started to enjoy talking to them. When I finished my speech, the audience clapped loudly. The sound of their applause was the happiest sound I had ever heard. I felt proud, like I had just climbed a tall mountain all by myself. In that moment, I realized something important. People in the audience weren't there to judge me or laugh at me. They wanted to hear what I had to say. They gave me so much confidence and made me feel like I could do it again. Before my speech, I always thought that speaking English with people had to be perfect. I believed that if I made even one mistake, everyone would think I was bad at English. But when I gave my speech and saw the smiles on people's faces, I realized something very important. Speaking English isn't about being perfect. It's about sharing your thoughts and connecting with others. After that, I wanted to get better at speaking English. I joined a local speaking club where people gathered to practice English together. At first, I was nervous because I wasn't sure if I could keep up with the others. But everyone was friendly and supportive, which made me feel comfortable. I also started talking to strangers in English whenever I had the chance. For example, if I went to the market or met someone new, I tried saying a few sentences in English. It felt a little scary at first, but with practice, it became fun. What I learned some helpful tips about speaking English that I want to share with you. 1. Start small. You don't have to give a big speech right away. Start by practicing with your family or friends. For example, you can tell your mom what you did in school, but say it in English. You can even talk to yourself in English when you're alone, like when you're brushing your teeth or looking in the mirror. 2. Focus on your message. Don't worry too much about grammar or saying every word perfectly. People care more about what you're saying than how you're saying it. For example, if you're telling a story about your favorite book, they'll listen to your excitement, not your small mistakes. 3. Be kind to yourself. Mistakes are a part of learning. Even people who speak English very well make mistakes sometimes. If you say something wrong, don't feel bad. Just laugh it off and try again. The more you practice, the fewer mistakes you'll make over time. If I, a shy girl from a small town, could learn to speak English with the public, then I believe you can too. I know it might feel scary at first, but it's not impossible. You don't need to be perfect. All you need is practice, patience, and a little courage. Start with small steps. For example, begin by practicing with a friend or a family member. Speak simple sentences like, how are you? Or what is your favorite game? These small conversations will help you feel more comfortable. Next, try talking to someone new like a teacher or a neighbor. You can even practice by pretending to talk to an audience in front of a mirror. Little by little, your confidence will grow. It's okay to make mistakes. Remember, even the best speakers in the world were once beginners. Every time you practice, you get better. Just keep trying and don't give up. One day, you'll find yourself standing in front of an audience, just like I did, sharing your ideas confidently. Imagine how proud you'll feel when everyone listens to what you have to say. So, don't be afraid to start your journey. You have what it takes to speak English with the public. You just need to believe in yourself. And that's how Darcy turned her fear into a strength and learned to speak English with confidence. If her journey inspired you, imagine what you can achieve by starting today. Remember, every small step counts, and speaking English is a skill you can grow with time. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like this video and share it with your friends who might need a little encouragement. Leave a comment below telling us about your biggest challenge in learning English. We'd love to hear your story. And of course, make sure to subscribe to English Tone and press the bell icon so you never miss another story or lesson that helps you become a confident English speaker. See you in the next video.